In Beijing, the gold medal seemed like destiny for Shawn Johnson. But in the end, the only gold around her neck was earned on the balance beam.
I had trained my whole life for the all-around. I wanted it quite a bit. It's what I lived for.
She will never say her performance in Beijing was a disappointment, but it wasn't the result she had dreamed of. They each had to leave the sport to realize just how much they truly loved it. But love can only carry you so far. Now they're all back, and that is never easy. There are others who believe that that was their time and that this is theirs. Tonight, a national champion is crowned, and London becomes one step closer.
14.9.
I can tell you Caquato got a 14.05 and Graysman got a 13.95. When we come back, we'll hear from Shawn Johnson. We'll see her as well, but she'll explain what has happened to her in the 3 years since Beijing as that team reunited for the first time since here in St. Paul. There's a different feel to Shawn Johnson in 2011. Adversity can do that to a person.
People have so many expectations on me to be exactly who I was in 2008. It had been about 2.5 years, and I hadn't even really thought about it. I'd been asked all the time, but I was like, oh, I'm not going to go back. I went skiing, took a fall, and tore everything in my knee. It was when I really thought, gymnastics might not ever be able to be in my life again. It pushed me to go back in and give it one last shot.
Basically 3 years since she has put a leotard on and gone out onto the competition floor.
It's scary because I'm in it for that Olympic Games. I'm in it to experience it again, and knowing that one thing could be detrimental to the whole process it's intimidating.
Oh no! Big skill.
Oh. That is something that never happens to her in competition.
I'm never going to be that 2008 Shawn Johnson because I'm no longer 16. I'm not that same girl. I'm different. If I make the Olympics again or Worlds, I'm going to be the new Shawn Johnson. I'll never be that old one.
Tim, your thoughts on what she said and whether she can ever land on that knee, not thinking about it ever again?
Well, at the cover girl, the qualifying meet for this championships, she took this fall. This is her first event, first time in 3 years back to competition, and she had tweaked her knee, and she said that she just was so afraid that she was going to hurt it again. She wanted to lock out on that landing. It wasn't good, wasn't pretty, but 3 weeks later, she already looks like a different person. A lot more like the Shawn Johnson that we remember. You see perfect body landing position, chest upright, absorbing throughout her entire body through her legs.
And what struck me is Shawn notes that, I'm not the same person that I was in 2008. People expect that of me, but what she hoped she did on night one of these Visa Championships is erase all the naysayers.
And frantic, but so far, this has been what Team USA has looked like.
Marta said what she was going to find out tonight is who has the solid head and who has the butterflies.
I guess, Elfie, as you look at Liang Xiao, who's a busy man at an event like this, the U.S. selection committee has to decide. Young with some veterans, totally young with a year from the Olympics to get ready, or really rely heavily on the experience.
And there's just a little bit of room at these World Championships because it is a 6-athlete team, unlike London next year, where they go to the chopping board and take away one spot. There will only be 5 members on that U.S. Olympic team. So that's a very good question. I think the puzzle is slowly coming together for Marta and the rest of the selection committee.
And Gabrielle Douglas gets a 14.9.
And that is a very, very big number and will serve her well. It's a complete turnaround from night one where she was not good there.
Shawn Johnson is not figuring in the all-around national national championship that comes here at the Visa Championships. She's only performing on 3 of the 4 apparatus. Alexandra Raisman has taken a big scoring hit in this second rotation, and Jordan Weber's lead looks like it's going to survive easily into the third.
Combination right into her release. Very nice.
This is what Shawn does so well. She's very neat and clean.
Awesome. Dismount, remember, this is where she struggled at the cover girl. Not night 1 and not night 2.
Boy, shades of Shawn Johnson of old coming back in a big way.
Philadelphia, you heard she doesn't want to be the Shawn Johnson of old.
Well, she wants to be a little bit like the Shawn Johnson of old. Let me assure you of that. Because that Shawn Johnson was one of the toughest competitors you'd ever see. The bigger the moment, Shawn Johnson got bigger and better.
We used to just put our pen down and watch Shawn's performances. We somehow knew she was always going to hit.
But a lot of pressure on that knee coming down, and that one looked like it withstood it just fine.
It's an amazing thing. They take a tendon from somewhere in your leg and they put it where the ligament used to be, and then the body, cell by cell, tells that tendon to become a ligament. And it's
crazy.
A little mind-blowing when you think about it.
Shawn commented after the first day of competition, she was absolutely thrilled that she performed this vault and stood it up, did it as well as she did.
See that left knee taped. Really, where Shawn has the biggest trouble is on her run. Sometimes she doesn't look like she is able to generate enough speed. But this is better than night 1.
Much better. She is just getting better and better with every workout competition.
Actually twisted a little bit early off the table night 1. This was a little bit better. She was able to block her body up in the air. Ends up taking a pretty large step, but I like that one a lot better.
Ultimately, we all have to answer the question, how old is too old? For most, it's 65. Maybe if you're a baseball player, 35. Here, 21, 22, 19. It's an unnaturally young age to have to answer that question, but that's what's happening.
Now, this vault is valued out of 5.8, considerably lower than what we'll see from Jordan Weber. A little bit offside.
She travels to the side. That'll be only a 1/10 of a point. If she landed on the other side of that white line, it would have been a more severe deduction.
Definitely a spring to the step of Shawn Johnson. We've concluded the first rotation. We'll check the standings after this, live at St. Paul. And Alicia Sacramone and Shawn Johnson are trying to factor into Marta Karolyi's plans for the World Championships in October. Now, this team that represented the United States in Beijing reunited here in St. Paul for the first time, and Shawn Johnson tweeted this week that it was weird. Another teammate who's thinking about the future, Nastia Lukin. She's with Andrea Joyce.
Al, so many memories rushing back as you watch those 2008 Olympians out here competing. Nastia, what about you? Do you miss being out there?
Oh, I definitely miss it. It definitely, makes me have some fire inside of me. And it's just so incredible to see 3 of my teammates back out there on the floor.
As you watch them, you have not closed the door on the possibility of yourself coming back. As you watch them compete, are you feeling a little bit of a nudge in that direction, a little bit of an itch?
Yes, definitely feeling an itch. And like I said, it's just so exciting to be able to see 3 of my Olympic teammates out there and definitely have some fire inside of me.
London, less than a year away. You know, in this sport, it's all about the numbers and the repetition. Do you feel like you have to make a decision soon, and is there time?
That's all I'm going to say about myself. The decision that we do have to make, though, is I'm on the selection committee now, so to make that world team.
Huge responsibility. Who have you liked out there?
There's so many girls out there this year, and I think that's so exciting for Team USA to send out there and really vie for that gold medal as a team.
Have there been any surprises for you? Anybody you've looked at and said, wow?
Jordan Weber, obviously, it's her first year.
I mean, every kid, they want a lot of things in gymnastics. They want to win a Visa National Championships as well.
To Shawn Johnson on the balance beam.
Shawn said that after the first night of competition, she felt that she really proved to everyone that she went back to the gym after the classic competition and worked extremely hard. She said that she was able on the first night of competition to let go of what everyone was thinking of her, watching her, and become one with the competition. She said that's very important to her.
And you know, just a couple moments ago, as she gets ready, this is a big tumbling pass right here. Her most challenging.
True tumbling.
Yeah.
That has been very consistent here.
But just a few moments ago, she watched her teammate, Gabrielle Douglas, who was having a much better night. Day two, just really kind of melt under the pressure and have a huge fall and then another gigantic mistake. And that is an addition. Night one, Marta Caroli had said, take that out, Shawn. You haven't been making it. Back in the routine.
A little bit of a balance check. You know, she did the same thing in the first night of competition. There were little checks here and there. Won the gold medal in 2008 on this event, and she said she felt the pressure. She felt that all eyes were on her. Just the dismount.
Wow.
Nice job, Shawn Johnson.
That's one of the gymnastics.
To the Olympic trials in Philadelphia in 2008 to watch. What did you learn from that? What mental notes did you take that you think is going to help you through this pressure-packed year?
I definitely watched other older girls and saw how confident they were when they competed, and saw how aggressive they were, and I tried to put that in my own routines too.
I know that you're out here and you're in a zone and you're competing, and as I said, you were solid, but as you see something like what happened to Rebecca Bross, how difficult was it for everyone out here to keep going? I mean, there was just a complete hush in this crowd.
Yeah, it was definitely hard to see one of our very own teammates get hurt like that, and it's so sad, but you know, personally, we just have to stay focused and compete for our team and stay strong.
Congratulations on your first senior national title, and the last time that Shawn Johnson was competing at these nationals in 2008, you won the title. How different was this experience for you?
It's a little bit different, but I have to start somewhere. I'm on the road to the comeback, and my biggest goal is next year, but it feels great. I made a huge improvement from classics, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, you said, you know, I'm not the same old Shawn Johnson, but we saw a lot of flashes of the old Shawn Johnson. I mean, that's a good thing, right?
It is a good thing, you know, to have that, you know, girl that I was in 2008 still there is what I want, but I've matured, I've grown up, I'm doing a little different gymnastics, so I want to be the new Shawn this time.
We know that you take this seriously, and we know that now, after what you did here, there are plenty of other folks who are probably taking it seriously as well, the comeback. Do you think you did enough to possibly put yourself on the world team?
My coach was just kind of joking about that a few minutes ago, and I was like, oh my goodness, you know, I don't know. I don't want to, you know, think that way yet. I'm just going to stick with it and go to training camp and hopefully, you know, just do whatever is best for the team.
It's really fun to see you back out there. Congratulations.
Thank you.